want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like 4th down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for?
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 8, read. Heavy on the edges. Hey, Zoo. 22 jump bombers. We can get it.
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Open man. That's Noah Fant, the tight end. That's good for 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Check three. Hit it.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Traquan Smith with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
That's their own 23-yard line.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23.
We're gonna go, baby.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here we go, the exit.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A give, running right, Lindsey. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Down. 18 Gators. 59. Go, go, go. Down.
Here's Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 23-yard line.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Check, check. Double time, double time. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Shoot.
On 2nd and 11 now. Locke. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. 51 to mine. 51 to mine. Ready, ready.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That's it, baby. We got work.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check. X3. 218. Chopper. Check. Nickel.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here's Locke to throw. He's got Smith here. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Traquan Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Buying time to... And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw. Flanagan. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the punt goes out of bounds, so no chance to bring it back, and they will spot it at the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going up top. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Chiefs, nothing.
Set, 8, read.
Block now on first down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's Mahomes to throw, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. On play action, Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Hill on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively. Nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Mahomes now on first down. And this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The Chiefs on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 34-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage. They'll
run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Mahomes now on first down. And the catch made by Johnson. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Alpha. Check 47. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert. Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Hey, here we go.
Mahomes now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes flushed out right, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd down.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. 45's the mic. Hey, I'm coming.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, and that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Seibert's kick is good. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 27-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Kelce, the intended receiver there, but it'll be second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Mahomes going to throw. Looking for Kelce on the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Hey, 57, 57.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. It's Kelce on the ground. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's complete right around the 8. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Hey, 15, 15. 25.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Seibert able to knock this one through. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to reach. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Locke gonna throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Another run by Lindsey. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete. The tight end, Kelsey, was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
And when you've already thrown 2 interceptions, you got to take extra special care of the football because that one could very easily have been a 3rd.
Yeah, off-balance, pressure coming. Probably just has to stick that one in his pocket, right?
He does. I just think that when he's in a rut like this, I think this happens to a lot of quarterbacks, they try and overcome it by making big-time throws. Throws they know they shouldn't make, but they're hoping to complete them rather than having the confidence that they actually will.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, Charlie! Christian, Travis.
Throwing his lock on third down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 15-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
23 yards on the play. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Working from the gun, Mahomes throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 3, and it's a 2nd down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range, and guess what? They've got a shot.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They're going to look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves his sticks. He'll look to throw. Running right through him. To the right side, it's Kelsey.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Mahomes on target here to Hardman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Attack. 45. Mike, 45. All day, baby, all day. Check.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Out of time. It's out of time. Attack.
Here's Mahomes to throw. This is caught. And he's brought down. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for him.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, his second touchdown of the night, as his guys are back within a single score. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind him.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
Hit it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 30. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big run there by Freeman. 51 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Lock now on first down. This is caught. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got it second and goal now as they look for that final dagger. Again, it'll be Freeman. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So it's third and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalposts. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
To throw is Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back to throw. Mahomes. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Mahomes now on the sneak. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league. Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. One final try for Mahomes, escaping the pressure. And he is in for the touchdown with no time remaining. And Charles, we're a 2-point conversion away from overtime. And that won't be easy. And understandably, this crowd is in an absolute frenzy. But they've got to back it off a little bit, let the guys operate, and they need to take a deep breath as well. They've still got to get a 2-point conversion in order to tie this one. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught. What a call with no time remaining. And with that 2 points, they win the game. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner. Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor. They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over. It's been loud in here so far. Locke now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's got room. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
First down, Denver.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 38. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 11 now. Locke, man open. He's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he gets it down to the 32. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. Freeman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Watch out. Hey, Wood.
Locke going to go on 4th down. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mahomes now to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Kill. You go tight. You got tight.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Hey, alert 3. Hey, Ripley.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now the timeout comes here, and the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now the timeout comes here. And the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. It's 2nd down and 10.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Hey, check Mike 47.
Now Mahomes. And it's caught. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Kansas City, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.